A lot of black folk can grab the Jews because you know if you mess with somebody else, they'll kill you. Mm-hmm. That's like we mess with our children. Huh? Them white boys down on the job, they call you everything, they ain't gonna mess with them. Come home, mess with my wife and my children. Now, think about this for a minute. The Jews was cut loose from slavery 9,000 years ago by the Egyptians. In the Christian Bible, it says the universal God. That the Baptist church, the Lutheran church said, I'm coming tonight. If you put the blood on the door, I'll bypass you. You know about this one? We're talking about the same God that made the stars, the moon, the sun, the oceans, every mosquito. And that God don't know I'm in there unless I put some blood out there. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. It's a game. And so here in America, we've been cut loose from slavery.
Yeah, Shalom. You just heard Dick Gregory with his rant on how the Jews were cut from slavery from the Egyptians, and how the Most High told um, how the Most High told Moses to tell the children of Israel to put blood on their doorposts and on the doors, because the avenger or the destroyer was coming that night to destroy them. And he said, are you crazy? You mean to tell me that this God that knows everything, that created everything, doesn't know that they're in there? The point is not whether he knew they were in there or not. The point is that the Lord gave a commandment, and for that commandment to be obeyed. And that's the point. See, and this is the reason, I'm going to read this real quick, 1 Corinthians 1:26. This is the reason why the Most High don't deal with these old bottles, first and foremost. And second of all, he don't deal with these so-called intellectuals of this world, because their mind is not set or geared towards faith of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. It's geared towards logic, their own warped logic. This is Colossians 1:26. For you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. That's why the Most High doesn't call guys out there that have PhDs and doctorate degrees and all these different degrees, or that are well known by the world, or that particular world. He's not calling them because they don't have the faith and the truth, and they're not part of the elect of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. The reason why, Dick Gregory, the reason why the Lord told the children of Israel to do that, and if they didn't do it, they would be put to death, was because they had to obey the voice of the Lord. And that's the Passover. And when you read the book of Exodus, the 12th chapter, it explains it to you. Exodus 12:21. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover. And you shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and two side posts with the blood that is in the basin. The Lord is specific on how he wants this done. And none of you shall go out of the door of his house until the morning, for the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians. And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, why? Because you obeyed the voice of the Lord. The Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come into your house to smite you. And you shall observe this for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. So the point is that you have to obey the voice of the Lord. That's the reason why we as a nation fell on these different captivities, because we failed to obey the voice of the Lord. Deuteronomy 28:15. But if it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken or listen unto the voice of the Lord thy power, Yahawah, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So if you don't obey, the Lord's going to put curses upon you. He's going to deal with you. And it goes on to give you a list of the scriptures and the curses. Now, when you go to the story of Saul, King Saul, he went. The Lord told him to go kill the Amalekites, and he obeyed the voice of the people, and instead of obeying the voice of the Lord said to kill all of them. So what did he do? He saved the king alive, and he saved some sheep and certain other things that he saved, you know, and the Lord told him to kill everything, take nothing from them. This is First Samuel 15:19. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord? See, he didn't obey. So this is Samuel, the prophet Samuel, cursing Saul out. But didst fly upon the spoil and didst evil in the sight of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. Why? Because the Lord told him, don't do it, to the prophet Samuel. Kill everybody there. Don't take nothing. Don't take the spoils. Don't take the sheep. Don't take the king. Don't take the children. Nothing. But he didn't listen. And Saul said unto Samuel, yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way of the Lord which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy power in Gilgal. And Samuel said, have the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? So that's the reason why, Gregory, that the Lord did not had Israel put the blood on the post and of the door, because it is a thing of obedience. It's not a thing whether he knows who's in that house or not. It's a thing of obedience. It's the way he wanted it done. He's specific with it. And if you didn't obey, then guess what? If you would have just took the blood and put it on there, you would have still been put to death, because you had to. It was a certain way that it had to be done, with the hyssop, and then you had to strike it. There was a certain way, because the Lord is specific in what he does and how he does things. That's why he told Samuel, through the Spirit of the Lord, told Saul, he said, and Samuel said, have the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. So, Dick Gregory, the reason why the Lord did that was because he wanted his voice to be obeyed, not because he knew, because he is all known. He knows everything. He created everything. But there's a way that the Lord wants everything done. That's why when the Lord rejected Saul, because Saul did not obey his voice. It says, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. And what's the sin? And what's the penalty for the sin of witchcraft? Death. So if the children of Israel wouldn't have put that blood on their doorposts and on the lintels in the specific manner in which the Lord said to do it, they would have been put to death, because they did not obey. For rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness, that's the point, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, which is all the penalty of that is death. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. And if the children of Israel would have not put that blood on their doorpost, guess what? They would have got put to death, because to obey is preferred rather than sacrifice. And that's the reason why the Lord don't deal with these so-called intellectuals of this world, these so-called wise men of this world, because they think that they have everything figured out. They think that they're above the Most High. They think that they're beyond the book and the words of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. I'll read this again, 1 Corinthians 1:26. For you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. The Lord ain't dealing with these noblemen. The Lord is not dealing with these guys that claim, to have this whether it's accolades, whether it's diplomas, whether it's paperwork from the devil. That does not matter. The Lord is not dealing with them. And that's the reason why this guy made such a stupid statement as, you think that, that they had to put blood on the door because God is all seeing, he all knowing, and he didn't know that they were in there. That's not the point. The point is obedience is preferred rather than sacrifice, because disobedience or rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. Now, this is Jeremiah 9:23. Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, which that's what he's doing. They think because they're old, and they've had all kind of all kind of experiences that they have the answers for everything. No, you don't have the answers for everything, you know, because you're not part of the elect, and you're not dealing with the book that the Lord set down for us. Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, let not the rich man glory in his riches. Because that's what people do. They glory in their wisdom, they glory in their might, or they glory in their riches. They don't glory in Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. It says, but let him, and this guy is supposed to be this great intellect, but to say such a stupid thing as that shows you that he is not wise, not at all. He's nothing but he's an idiot, just like the rest of these other so-called white people are idiots. It says, and anybody else that puffs up against the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. But let him that glorieth glory in this. So if you're going to glory in something, glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, say that I am the Lord which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness. And how do you know that? By following what the Lord Yahawah Bashem Yahushai commanded us to do. And that you can glory, that you understand the Lord. It says, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am Yahawah, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. So that's what the Lord is delighting in, you know. So this guy, man, you know, you got people that hold this guy in high esteem, because, you know, I watched the video because, you know, he was speaking on Dr. CB's death, you know, which pretty much, I mean, he said Dr. CB was put to death, you know, and you know, as I'm reading, as I'm watching it, he's giving like certain analogies of Prince and of the World Trade Center and you know, other stuff. And then all of a sudden he comes to the part about the Israelites being delivered from. And first of all, it was the Israelites that were delivered from Egypt, not just the Jews. You know, I don't know if they went up there and told you. And then all of a sudden he starts saying that. I said, man, you see, that just goes to show you that just because you have accolades and documents and diplomas and all that, that don't mean shit, you know. So I mean, pretty much, you know, with that, you know, that made the point. You know, I'm gonna sign off. You know, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahushai, Shalom Akim.